The first time I tried to lose weight, I was in like the eighth grade, and at that time, I think I needed to lose somewhere in the neighborhood of probably like, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds or something like that. Um, my method then was to eat ramen noodles and run. So for dinner, I would have like two packets of ramen, um, the really basic ones, the ones that come in like single packs, and they have just the powder. And, you just boil the noodles, add the powder. None of the fancy stuff now with all the vegetables and the little syrups and all that. So I did that for a good probably 2 to 3 months. Started off probably like doing like walking, slight jogging, and then building that up to at most I probably ran like maybe half an hour, something like that. Um, I settled on running because I used to read a lot of like mental health magazine at that point, and I think there's like a particular article where it listed the different exercises and then how many calories are burned per hour. So I just chose one that burned the more calories. And I was like, well, okay, I want to burn as many calories as I can. So that's what I did. I saw running burned the most calories per the effort put in. So I was like, and weirdly, like, um, I'm not like a huge exercise person. I really don't like going to the gym. Never have, and I've cultivated like a love for it somewhat now, just because I sort of finally understand that putting in a certain amount of effort will yield a certain result, and so I look at all the times I'm in the gym as okay, I'm adding another piece onto the puzzle, and it's building towards something. So I can see how the effort is linked to the ultimate result, which I think I never was able to do before, because I just never thought I could actually do it. So now that I have the mindset that I can actually do it, um, it makes the process more enjoyable because I know that this is the whole like journey of 1,000 steps thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on step like 10. I got like 900 and whatnot steps, but I know that I'm going to get to 1,000. So I just got to put in the work now, and the sooner I put in the work, the sooner I get to that ultimate destination. But back then, right, I just didn't really see those two connected. And so ultimately, it's why I failed in all my previous attempts to lose weight, even though I would lose, like in the example of like me running and eating ramen, I did drop a good, 20 pounds. But as often does with a lot of people and their like weight loss efforts, once the diet phase is over, you just go back to your old habits, and then in a certain amount of time, uh, months, sometimes maybe even longer, maybe like after a year or whatever, you just go back to wherever you were, and then you add some pounds onto that because that's just how it works. And so I've done two other major times I've lost major amounts of weight, ranging from about at most shed like 40 pounds in about 3 months. That was in college, and that was a lot of eating a lot of rice and vegetables, and then playing basketball for no lie 3 to 4 hours, like probably 2 to 3 times a week. And basketball is one of those really great exercises because it's similar to like HIIT workouts where it's you have these intense bursts of like energy you're putting out. So you're running up and down the court, and then you're stopping to play defense, or the gameplay has slowed down, and then again immediately you're full speed down the court. And this is like a full length basketball court, playing against some like really fit people. So I had to really, really put in a lot of effort to keep up with them, and obviously that was really great in terms of a workout. So doing that for like 3 months, I dropped the most amount of weight I've ever dropped, which was about 40 pounds. Physically, I transformed, to the point where beyond obviously like my clothes fitting better and all that, to the point where people are like, "Whoa, like, are you okay?" Like, like people being concerned because you've just lost so much weight and just look more like gaunt, I guess. Um, So both of those efforts were really unhealthy ways of losing weight, because I ultimately was not able to keep up with them. And so over the last about 8 months, I've lost about almost 90 pounds. So I think I'm around 85 pounds. I started about 264, which is the most weight I've ever been in the entirety of my life. And really, I mean, it's not funny, but it was funny to me and at various points. I got to the point where tying my shoe became laborious. I was huffing and puffing, and like that was one certainly one key factor in me being like, oh, I can't, I don't want this anymore. I need to make a change. And second was I just had to keep on buying bigger clothes, and at a certain point, like the clothes start to not fit very well on you, even though they fit you. Like it's so big, it becomes very like uncomfortable to wear in outside. Um, they don't feel good. They're more expensive. They're harder to find. So really, it was like this thing of like I don't want to be inconvenienced. Like I want to go, as I do now. I want to go to a store. I want to look at the sizes. You know, I range between like a large, sometimes a medium, depending on the clothes. And I go in. I mostly am looking for the style that fits me. The actual like whether it fits or not is largely not a question anymore. So you know, I go in. I look for the color I want, pick it, and I'm in and out. Little things like that also matter when you're trying to lose weight, beyond obviously like the health part, which is very important and should be a motivating factor. But the convenience aspect of it, being able to wear what you want to wear, and the confidence that brings, those are all should be motivating factors. Also, they're going to help you sustain your weight loss, because you're going to see just how much more easier it is to live a life where you're not carrying so much extra weight. And again, not even to mention the health aspects of it, and call them like superficial or material things, in terms of like the benefits of weight loss. But it's once you actually get to it, and it's something that's becomes a part of your life, you'll understand. I mean, I can keep on talking about that, but again, to get to the actual what I did, um, I I don't know if it was an article or a video. You know, like the magician's Penn and Teller. I think it's Penn, the dude with the glasses who does the talking. He talked about how when he lost like a major amount of weight, he initially started with eating nothing but potatoes. I think it was like for a month, and yeah, so just nothing but like I think it was boiled potatoes that he ate, and he can eat as much as he wanted, but that was the only thing he can eat. And then I think he was allowed to have water and tea without sugar or any other added things. And that was really just a way to reset his appetite, his cravings, and just get to be in this state where your body was, in essence, ready to, like a reset of your body, basically. So I did that with oranges. So I had orange juice. I would just take fresh oranges, blend it in a like a Bullet Nutra blender thing, whatever Ninja thing. Um, Sometimes I would add water. Sometimes I would do ginger, like a little slice of ginger for flavor, and also just the health benefits of ginger. And I would drink that usually for lunch. So I would actually fast for breakfast, which I never really ate breakfast anyway, so it wasn't a big transition. Um, so I would do those smoothies. During the day, I would have an orange or two as a snack. And then dinner, it depended. Sometimes I would just do the smoothie, not the smoothie, but just the orange juice, freshly, blended, or just oranges by themselves. And if not, I would just have something really simple and clean. So like a chicken thigh that I just like baked really simply, or like pan fried, with like a salad, something clean, um, would fill me up. Because that's the other thing with weight loss is, um, that's why I like just eating a salad. Yes, it's healthy, and yes, you'll lose weight, but it'll kind of kick in your cravings because you're not full. So a really good thing is like having lean meats. Don't add too much sauce and sugar and sauce and barbecue sauce and all those kinds of things, but just eat simple proteins. They help fill you up so you don't have cravings, and they're just good for you because protein helps build your body up and is good for muscle growth. And I don't want to go too much into it because I'm not that knowledgeable about that, but I do know the biggest thing they do is just help sort of like help temper your cravings. So that's all I did. I had like orange juice, oranges, and sometimes I would have like lean proteins and salads together. I did that for about 2 to 3 months. And that's actually what kicked in most of my weight loss. So a good probably 20 to 30 pounds was just that. Um, it might have actually even been like 40 when I think about it over the span of like about 4 months or so. So about from 260 to like something like 220-ish. That's how I did that, and it was consistent. I saw the weight dropping both on the scale and also just in my clothes, fitting differently. Um, to go a little bit backwards, a lot of the weight loss, yes, being frustrated with, physically being like tired and not breathing correctly or breathing hard for simple things, if clothes not fitting, that kind of thing, definitely was a factor in me wanting to, lose the weight finally. But one thing that was also big was dealing with any emotional trauma that you have, anything that you need to go to therapy for. I used to just eat emotionally, and that was one of the reasons why I got all the way to 264 was just eating whenever I felt depressed or overly anxious. And, I've come to find that's just a coping mechanism. And so I coped heavily with that stuff, fast food, sweets, all of it. And it worked. It made you feel really good for a couple of hours, but the damage was felt long after. And so I dealt with that. Went to therapy, am dealing with that. And once you kind of get rid of that emotional eating, you eat to sustain yourself, and you eat for the energy you need to go about your day, and nothing more. And that's the way that it should be. So let me not forget that because that was a major factor as well. So to sort of land the plane, as they say. So yeah, like if I had to put it in order, I would say anything that's bothering you emotionally, deal with that first. It's just going to make everything so much easier. If you want to do the reset, you can. I would say pick a food that you love to eat that's healthy, and just eat nothing but that for a good month or so. It'll just make everything easier. You don't have to meal prep or plan or like put together things. You can just, like I said, in my case, I love oranges. It's healthy, and the whole like sugar thing is overblown anyway. Pretty much any fruit you eat is going to be good for you, just because of the vitamins and minerals it has. Over processed crap you're going to eat anyway. So think of it like that. Like, yeah, sure, you can have a salad and water and all that, and that's like the typical diet thing, but I've seen so many people choose a path that worked for them, and so just choose a path that works for you. So beyond the food reset, I would say find an exercise. In my case, it was walking, and I dismissed walking for so many years. I thought it was not a effective means of burning calories and burning fat, but all the stuff that I'm seeing now, people that have done it, and me having done it now, it's so beneficial. Man, it is so easy to do. For me, I combine it with sort of like, it's kind of like my meditation. I go out walking early in the morning, and yeah, I just take in the sights. Sometimes I'll have music with me or like a podcast, and I put in steps. I started off just going around my apartment complex, so a good maybe 15-20 minute walk. Built that up to walking around a local park, walking. I have like a major street that I live on, so I walk down. It's probably like um, maybe like 2 miles back, to and fro, back from my house to the end of the street and back. And then I built that up to just walking around the city where I live at, and doing that, I built it from like probably like an hour. There's days where I do 2 hours. I enjoy it. It is not really like exercise to me. I'm just doing something I enjoy doing, which is going around. I'll take pictures. I'll stop here and there. And that's it. I didn't do a crazy workout. I didn't work out 5 hours a day. I walked. I ate sensibly. And I just did that consistently. Again, this took 8 months. So about 8 months to lose roughly 90 pounds, right? So all that to say, it's very possible to do it. It felt overwhelming for a lot of years. I've started and stopped, I don't know, by now, tens, 20s, 30s of times. But when you finally get it, it's I don't want to like, you know, say like it changes your life. But it does. It makes things a lot easier, so you can focus on other things in your life that are more important. I spent way too much time thinking about my weight, how I looked, how I was perceived. Oh, these clothes make me look fat, or this, this and that. Like, the reduction of that has been so great as well, just in terms of like my day to day mental state. I'm not so preoccupied with how I come across or how I look. Um, um, Even silly things like eating. Like, I used to be self conscious about like eating certain foods because I'm like, oh, I'm a fat person eating such and such food. Like, oh, what will people think? Like, that's gone. Not that I should have had that at that time, but you know what it is. Like the reality is, it's just when you're self conscious, things like that are normal. Um, so this is not a post like telling you you have to lose weight. It's saying that if you choose to do it, here's how I did it. Um, Hopefully, it gives you, some motivation, a little bit of hope. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm open to them. And yeah, good luck on the journey.